What's up, traders? John Howell here, officialjohnhowell.com, and in this little market update slash educational video, I got something to teach you which is very interesting, and it's relating the advancer decliner line chart. So let's get straight into it.
Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader.
Alright, so let's get straight into it right now. What I'm looking at here right now, guys, is this. I was going through my charts and I was flicking through my charts this morning, and I was doing my trading on the US market, and there was a funny thing. There was something that actually happened within the charts. I think, hang on, there's something interesting here looking at the charts. And I'll go through chart after chart after chart after chart. I spent a lot of time going through charts. And so by looking at the charts this morning, one, I put on a trade. Let's see how that goes tomorrow. And also I noticed by looking at the advancer decliner line chart. So the advancer decliner line chart just simply represents the average advances to the decliners. So if there's more rising, obviously this chart's going to rise. If it's more declining, it just gives you a guide of what's happening on the overall US market, okay? Let's keep it as simple as that. So, by looking at that, what I noticed was this, guys. Look at this over here, okay? We have this blue line here, and this blue line here represents a 52 MA, and this is on a weekly, okay, weekly chart, okay, so it represents, and it's on a weekly chart, makes sense? So it's a 52 moving average on a weekly chart, and I've marked out some turning points within the markets, and you probably know this, right? Late 2007, early 2008, we had the crash, right? 2009, what did we have? What would we have? Middle 2009, we had the market pick back up again, and then the market continued moving forward. Make sense? And then it rose, and now we're stalling where we are right now. We're stalling where we are right now, late 2015, where we are right now, and obviously moving into 2016. And I've done this here, 2015, 2016. Because it's very interesting. This is late 2007, late 2008. Now here's the thing. When we go to the chart segment, we're going to notice something really interesting. During the late 2007, the market went like that. Can you guys see that? Yeah, cool. Okay. So the market was above this moving average. Late 2007. It actually broke up below this moving average. And then, what actually happened? Here, I'll just use this pen here. Use this one here. Alright. I'll just use this one here. I'll use this. My black one's running out. So what actually happened was this, okay? The market ran up, and the market broke below. So the market broke below the moving average, and now, that was late 2007, and then went sideways into 2008, which saw this type of action. Make sense? So that's what we saw on the chart. So hang on a minute, okay, it broke below the moving average and then broke back up. Then we saw it cross back above. This is the advancer decliner line chart with this moving average. It crossed back above in 2009 on this weekly chart. I'm thinking, hang on. 2007 was the turning point where the market crashed, right? Late 2007, it pulled down, went sideways, and then 2008 we had a pullback. Then 2009 was the turning point, right? 2009 was the turning point when the market picked back up. The advancer decliner line chart actually crossed below the moving average at 2009. I'm thinking, hang on a minute. At this moving average in this chart picked the turning point on this chart here, or on this point here, using moving average. Advancer decliner line chart picked this turning point here from the 2008, and picked the turning point from this 2009, and it stayed above this line this whole time until, where are we right now? Late 2015, and now it's done this. So it's really interesting to see what we can see there. And it's really interesting that it was late 2007 and then 2008, that's when we had the crash, like a really big downward movement. We're in the late 2015 now. Is 2016 our crash phase? Is 2016 our crash period? So what I'll do right now is I'm going to get to the charts and I'll come back to the whiteboard. So let's get to the charts.
Alright, hey traders. So in this chart segment, what I want to do is I want to share with you some things that, or something that I've actually found and I've noticed, which is very interesting to say the least. So what I looked at here, this is the this TC2000 platform I'm using. T2100 is the advanced decliner line, okay? And if you bring up this top one up the top here, this is, you know, this is the daily chart of what you can see, and the advanced decliner line just simply shows what the overall advanced decline is doing with obviously the stocks, okay? But you can see I've got a couple of moving averages on it. I've got a 20, 52, and a 200, and you can see here by looking at this. You can see that this 200, it's actually broken this 200 here, which is a very weak signal. But you can see an overall trend. But one thing I noticed was by looking at this weekly chart here, as you can see on this weekly chart, look at this here. On this weekly chart, the last time it broke this moving average was in 2008. Had a little up movement, a little sideways movement, and then we had a continued down, and then so on and so forth. Makes sense? So you can see that's exactly what that's exactly what happened, and it's really interesting, right? We had a little breakdown. I had a move to the downside, a little break above. You can see this was the first time when it broke below this moving average, end of 2007, 2008. That's when we started to really get this move to the downside. Makes sense? Then you can see back here that this advanced decliner line, that it broke above this advanced decliner line, and it's been in this advanced decliner line weekly chart, and this weekly chart with this 52 moving average, it's stayed above it ever since until now. Now, even during the 2011 pullback, where we thought, oh, okay, markets have changed, markets going to start crashing now. Look, it stayed above the line there. Every time we got a pullback, it stayed above the moving average. And so this is very interesting, guys. It happened back in 2008. It hasn't pulled back below it ever since, and now we are getting a market where it's below the moving average again. So guys, this is something that is very interesting to me. The next thing you'd want to see is obviously the moving average pointing down. But yeah, guys, you can see here by looking at the moving average and by looking at the chart, you can see how we're actually, you know, how this is a very telltale sign. And you can see here that if I get up my little trendline tools, you can see this could be like a little left head, a little shoulder, and this could be building like a little right shoulder here. So as you can see, it looks like a potential head and shoulder on the advanced decliner line, breaking below. Now, as I said before, when it broke below there, that's exactly when we actually got, it's exactly when we got the breakdown. S&P 500, just a quick sort of round update with the markets here, guys. Not much happened. I'm still very bearish on the markets, by the way, guys. I really am. S&P 500 just had another little doji day. The Dow Jones, again, it's still hitting into that area of resistance. A nothing day. Russell, same thing, nothing day, and the same with the Nasdaq as well too, nothing day. So anyway, guys, that's the main thing I wanted to share with you. I wanted to share with you the advanced decliner line weekly chart with the 52 moving average. Have a look at it, guys. It's nothing happens in random. Everything happens for a reason, and just spotting this out here is definitely showing and telling a story. So anyway, guys, let's go back to the whiteboard.
So, traders, you see the chart, right? You see the charts itself. You can see how that advanced decliner line really does represent, or really does go inside of this moving average, and it's really interesting, right? Like, nothing happens in random. Nothing happens out of the blue. Everything happens for a reason. We think, oh look, that was a surprise. No, everything happens for a reason. Makes sense? So when you actually trade the markets, guys, and when you're actually trading, it's important to try to look at these things, like hang on, and pick these things up. look at the advanced decline line chart. Okay, you saw this here. Once again, guys, late 2007 and broke below. 2008, we had the crash. 2009, we broke back above the moving average, and then that was the turning point for the bull market. Now we're turning back below here, late 2015. What am I expecting? I'm expecting, obviously, maybe a little bit of downward movement, then a little up movement. Come 2016, wham. That's exactly what I'm expecting. Now, I'm saying that, guys, and I'm expecting that based, obviously, seen on this chart here, but doing it hours and hours and hours of analysis on the markets. But not only that, but really listening to the people out there, really listening to the experts out there. And here's the thing, guys. You got to be really careful who you listen to. Okay, you got to be really, really careful who you listen to. You got to be really careful of what you're doing for yourself or what you're doing for your trading. And the thing is this, guys, is that when you're trading and when you're trying to move forward in the markets, obviously it's really hard to listen to, right? So I listen to people like Harry Dent, right? My head chopped off here. Right? I listen to people like Harry Dent, and I listen to a lot of different people out there. So let me see if I can I? Oh, all right. There we go. All right, I did that. All right, there it goes. So I listen to a lot of people, and I listen to people like Harry Dent. All right. Oh, there we go. There we go. Alright, so yeah, so I listen to a lot of people. I listen to Harry Dent, I listen to Tony Robbins, and I listen to a lot of other different people out there. But hear my words, guys. Hear my words here. We have not seen a time in history where more thought leaders are saying the same thing than we are right now. Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, Harry Dent, Martin Armstrong, everyone is saying the same thing. Donald Trump. Everyone is saying that we are in a bubble. Right? So, I've never seen ever in history so many thought leaders, including Tony Robbins, to say we're in trouble. Okay? And so, if that's not a warning in itself, so many thought leaders at once. 2008, I didn't see a lot of people actually saying that. Didn't actually come out and say that. Just one or two. Now, there is so many people saying what's actually happening here. Okay, so many people. So, what I want you to be careful of is this. One, I want you to think about that advanced decline line chart and seeing the turning points that it's done, you know, over the last almost 10 years now. Yeah, probably 8-9 years on the chart. See exactly what's happening there, but also think about what's actually happening in the economy and think about what's actually happening moving forward, okay? And think about what I said there a minute ago about the thought leaders, and think about what I just said there to really help you move forward, okay? And all this video is about is to help you and to serve you and to help you really move forward, because I really do care. And sharing this stuff with you and sharing everything I do on the internet really is here to help you and really is here to serve and support you, okay? So think about the advanced decline line. Think about there's so many thought leaders out there saying the same thing, and just think about it in a general aspects about the debt that the market's in and so on and so forth. And I don't care what happens, if the US sneezes, us here in Australia are going to feel it, and that's exactly what happened, and everyone around the world, okay? We already see the China market starting to pull back. Things are not good. Things are not as good as what they seem, and so I'd be really, really, really careful about your trading and your trading and investment decisions, and obviously be smart about what you're doing. So, alright guys, I'm out of here. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim it, so step up, woo! Take massive action and face your fears today.